We gotta make something out of this because I don't have a dinner otherwise. I'm gonna cook for my family for an entire week using only this cookbook.
Delicious.
This is your kind of dinner, Willie.
My kind of dinner.
Stick around to see what we think. Ugh, no.
It's really bad.
That's fantastic.
But the flavor is good.
It's not getting thicker, Willie. Oh. The flavor should be good if I didn't destroy it by burning it all. What's wrong? You don't like it?
It's not pudding.
Greetings everyone and welcome back to PB with Jay. Here on the channel we focus on all things plant-based goodness, from cookbook reviews like this to our own recipes and some other funny, silly, hygiene-y things. And this week we're gonna cook and review Gwen Kenneally's Plantastic Cookbook. Full disclosure, I got sent this book by the publisher for our family to review, and I warned them in advance that you know, you're gonna get what you get with my family. We don't grade things on a curve. So the first thing I observed when I got this book is that it's really adorable. Lots of drawings. It doesn't have any photos. It has drawings. And by drawings, I mean like illustrations inside the book. Cute, right? Now, I think the problem for some people, my wife especially, is that when they get a cookbook, they want to see the photos. They want to know what a dish looks like. So we're not gonna get that here. I really like Gwen's story. In the beginning of the book, she talks about how she started eating or making more vegan plant-based meals because of her daughter. And that's a beautiful, lovely thing. So thanks, Gwen. Gwen is a Hollywood caterer and chef, so her recipes hail to us from California, which I think is pretty clear when you look at some of the ingredients and the chapters she's got in this book. It's broken down into some interesting sections. It's like toast is her jam, so an entire section on toasts, soups and stews, greens, salads and salad, a jackfruit section, a quinoa section, grilled sides and entrees, party fare, and sweets. So we'll try to bounce around and hit up as many of those sections as we can. One thing to keep in mind that this book is far from whole food plant-based, and as you know here on the channel, that's what we prioritize. So all of these recipes I will be modifying as best as I can to try to make them whole food plant-based. If you have a problem with that and you don't like people who review recipes but don't follow the instructions to a T, this is not the channel for you. Sorry. Before we get into the reviews, I'd like to give a shout out to a few of the people in our audience. Ronnie from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Kat, who is a Canadian but is currently living in Christchurch, New Zealand. Nikki from Vacaville, California. Sunny from New Jersey. Kirsten from Duisburg, Germany. Cheryl from Ingleside, Texas. Rain from Cincinnati. Veronica from La Puente, California. Candy from Mesa, Arizona. And Brooks from Warsaw, Poland. If you would like a shout out, all you have to do is let us know in the comments down below who you are and where you're watching from. If you want to get bumped up on that shout out list, consider joining us over on the Mighty Network. It's like PB with J 2.0. We have constant conversations, we're sharing recipes, you get early access to videos, all that kind of stuff. So if you want like the next level of the experience of PB with J, head on over there. It's a low price monthly for like a crappy cup of coffee. Another way to support our channel is our merch store. You can get wonderful shirts like this, or we recently had a t-shirt contest with our audience members, and we have a lot of new shirts and merch in the store that were made and designed by people like you. So stick around to the end of this video where you find out if we recommend that you buy, borrow, or bypass this book altogether. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button to let YouTube know to share it to other people. Otherwise, let's get to the reviews. For a little treat, we're gonna make these apple pie oatmeal cookies while Willie cuddles two dogs.
Oh, they're so cute.
We have a new visitor this week. Her name is Lucy, so you might see her every now and then. Lucy! Oh, there she is. Hi, Lucy. It's interesting. They recommend putting the flaxseed in warm water. I've never done that before. I just use water straight up. Look, Willie got a haircut.
Yeah, I did.
The kids made fun of it a little bit. What did Annie say? She says, don't worry, Mom, it'll look great in 2 weeks. Looks great now, Willie.
You told her to say that.
I did not tell her to say that. I said if she didn't like it, in 2 weeks, it'll look better. I didn't tell her to say that to you. I said the difference between a good haircut and a bad haircut is 2 weeks, and she took that as advice to give you. I didn't tell her to say that specifically.
I don't know. Sounds dicey to me.
You don't hurtful of my. Let's just make some cookies. So this looks. I mean, it's a cookie. I mean, this doesn't look like that revolutionary to what I've made before, but I like that you're using whole apples. Compared to a lot of her recipes in this book, this one's actually whole food, plant-based. There's no oil, there's no processed sugar, so I was really impressed compared to the rest of the book. 2 large apples peeled and cored and chopped. I mean, I'm probably not gonna peel them because there's nutrients in their peels, and I don't think it'll change anything else about the recipe. So I'm gonna leave those peels on. This is simple. So you make a giant flax egg, has using a cup of water with the flax seed. And you mix all your dry ingredients together and your spices. And then you blend up some apples with some dates and water and apple cider vinegar in the blender. Mix it all together, and then you bake it. So it says it makes about 2 dozen. It actually made about 3. Because there's 3 pans, do you think I should cook them longer? Because there's more...
No, just put 'em in there.
Okay, I just think they're not gonna stick together. I'm a little hesitant. I think I'm gonna like these, and Willie's gonna like these. I think the spices, they're not gonna be the kids' favorites.
Put chocolate on it. I don't need anything.
I'm following a recipe. Woody, can't just put chocolate on life. Not everything can have chocolate on it.
I don't think that's true. I live a chocolate-covered life.
Hash browns.
I don't like hash browns. But if I put chocolate on them,
Okay.
maybe I would like them.
We're done playing this game.
Try that.
Okay.
Few moments later.
I needed 5 extra minutes.
Because there's a whole bunch of them.
I like my hair better like that. No.
We'll be here for a minute while Willie figures out her
Like
hair.
this, right?
She's
Like,
using you as a
It
mirror.
keeps going so like a
Lucy's
triangle.
taking a shit.
Yay! She knows how to poop. Where? Oh,
Welcome.
good.
This is what you get when you watch a real family, unfiltered. Or teaching a dog to poop.
Pooping and not peeing.
On this episode of PB with Jay, you will learn about Willie's hair and our pet dog's poop. Our borrowed dog.
Yeah, we're trying to steal her, but
We're gonna try to steal her, but we don't know if it'll work out. Anyway, cook these for a few minutes longer if there are batches as big as the ones that we got. We're gonna let them cool and then we'll see how they taste.
To see, I wouldn't ask for it again.
You don't like it? Do you don't want it for your lunch all week?
Ugh. Ugh. No.
Did you just try it?
Oh, no, it's really bad. Yeah.
F.
Yeah, it's an F. I'm sorry.
it's fine.
It's fine. All right. I'm so glad this.
I don't understand cookies where you don't blend the oats into like a flour. It's not really cookie. It's like oats stuck together.
It's like oats glued together with dates.
Yeah. The spice is fun though.
This is something other than a cookie. I don't know what I would call that. I wouldn't call that a cookie. It's something. It's almost like a cookie meets granola.
Yeah. It's fine.
A cookie? Cooknola?
It's fine.
I'm glad it's fine. I guess me and you are eating these because the kids don't like them. There's a lot of them there. What do you give it?
See?
Let's just see. We're gonna finish them, but we'll probably never make them again. For dinner, for part of dinner anyway, I'm gonna make this roasted carrot, asparagus, and ginger soup. I'm actually gonna start on this earlier in the day because it's really, really simple. Essentially, we're gonna roast a bunch of vegetables. We gotta roughly chop them. What's that mean? I'm gonna try to keep them in giant chunks because she just says to roast them. She doesn't tell you what temperature. To save you a Google search, roasting is generally between 400 and 450 Fahrenheit. Because she says to do it for an hour, I keep on saying she, Gwen. I'm gonna assume it's a she. I apologize if you identify otherwise. So they say to roast for an hour. That seems like a long time if you're putting up to 450. So I'm gonna roast them at 400. Cut them, toss them in oil. I'm gonna use aquafaba, and then put a little salt and pea on top of them. By pea, I mean pepper, obviously. I will not be urinating on these vegetables. That would not make a good soup. So these are roasted. Some of the stuff looks straight up burnt. And to be fair, I followed the instructions in terms of the fact that she was not specific whatsoever about roasting times and didn't say to, flip them halfway through or anything. So I didn't. This is what happens when I follow the instructions or lack thereof. I don't know. You know what I'm gonna do now, actually? I think I'm just gonna put it into the soup pot now and just let it kind of like do its thing. Because all you do now is you just add this with vegetable broth, let it come up to a temperature, and then you puree it. Let's do that. And then it can just sit all day, and we'll heat it up again before dinner, and you know, the flavors will marinate and whatnot. I picked off all the really offensively burnt bits. I'm hoping it just doesn't taste like burnt soup. In theory, this should taste really good. I'm just annoyed with myself that I didn't not listen to the recipe. You know, the whole idea of like chop roughly and roast with no specific instructions in terms of like how temperature. It's a poorly written recipe. The flavors should be good if I didn't destroy it by burning it all. I'm not trying to completely throw the cookbook author under the bus, but a little bit. A little bit. Assume I'm an idiot if I'm cooking from your cookbook, because that's going to be true for me anyway. Not for you. You're all wonderful, very intelligent people, but I'm, you know, I'm me. Am I just making burnt soup right now? Luckily, we have a backup of another dish we're going to serve with this. I'm a little terrified what color this is going to end up being once I puree this. Hopefully it's not black. So it's not black. Close. It's brown. It's like a sludge. It's also very thick. If this is awful, I'm going to take a little bit of the blame for not overriding my instincts and just checking these things. It's awful. It's just, I mean, I taste the ginger. It just tastes like a burnt mess. I cannot serve this to human beings. So, I'm not gonna rate this soup. I'm also not gonna try to remake it because I don't have enough ingredients. This is such a waste of my time, a waste of vegetables. I'm mad at myself for not keeping an eye on the stove and listening to the recipe that I could just let it roast for an hour. We all lose on this one. So sorry, I'm not reviewing this one. So, since that carrot soup completely failed, I'm gonna make this black bean and lime quinoa. Although, so here's the thing about this book. So I'm just gonna read the recipe to you. It says, whisk together the lime zest, the juice, and the oils. Oils we're not gonna use. Salt and pepper into a large bowl. Okay, great. So that's like a dressing, I assume. The rest of the instructions here are essentially how to cook quinoa. At the end of the instructions, it doesn't say anything about adding these other ingredients. The black beans, the tomatoes, the scallions, the garlic, the cilantro, nothing about that. So I'm assuming you add that all in and whisk it all together, but this does not tell me. There's no photo to give me a sense of directions. What this cookbook feels like at times is like someone just gave me a bunch of Lego pieces and a couple of the instructions and no photo and said, good luck. We gotta make something out of this because I don't have a dinner otherwise. I mean, there's tomatoes in it, there's scallions. I mean, this is almost a full meal. So I just showed this recipe to Em.
This is ridiculous. It tells you how to cook quinoa, and then it doesn't tell you how to cook any of the other ingredients. We're not having this for dinner because I want to eat something that tastes good after a long day of hard work. Not some experimental, no instructions, raw garlic. 3 cloves of garlic and you're not going to cook them?
After
and 2
school.
medium tomatoes? I don't even like tomatoes. We are not cooking this. Your illustrations are beautiful, but your instructions need improvement. And I teach grade 1.
You just met the hangriest version of Wooly. All right, so here's our challenge then. I want to make something that we have to use all those ingredients, but we can add more to it.
Easy, but I'm not having tomatoes.
Okay, we can lose the tomatoes.
Okay.
Although this is what I bought them for, so I now have 2 tomatoes that I'm not going to use.
Danny will eat tomato.
Okay.
Just slice them up on the side. So we have black beans.
Yeah, black beans are cooked and we got to make quinoa. I have the buffalo sauce from the other night. No?
Looks like Mexican to me, dear.
Okay. You're going to get a new recipe from us in this video as opposed to this recipe. But I'm going to use all these ingredients. So So that's our challenge. We have
And
to use
more.
all these ingredients except for the
It's
tomato.
gonna be delicious.
But you know what? I'm gonna put some tomato in for Annie and I. So we will use all the ingredients. I'll just keep it on the side so she doesn't have to put
And
it
more,
in.
like olives.
And more. Get ready for this. It's gonna be exciting. We've never done this. It's kind of crappy to the cookbook author. I'm sorry, but I'm not fighting in Hangry
She
Wooly.
needs to work on her how-to writing instructions. Maybe have someone make the recipe who's never cooked before and see how that works for you.
Yeah, it does feel like this book was not recipe tested.
It's good learning for us.
Yeah, because we're about to write a cookbook.
Many tic tacs later.
So Willie and I just brainstormed, and we're going to make what we're gonna call black bean lime quinoa Mexican bowls. So we're just adding something to it. Here's what we're gonna do. Instead of making kind of just plain quinoa, I'm gonna make Mexican quinoa. I'm making up this recipe on the fly. I have something that I make called Mexican rice, where I cook rice in a concoction of like tomato paste and spices. You'll see it'll be on the screen right here. And then I cook it in the Instant Pot, just using the rice setting. I'm gonna do the same thing with quinoa. I've never done it. I don't know if it'll work. I'm sure it'll be something. Okay, so we're doing that. And then we are going to air fry some cauliflower, broccoli, and pepper. We're going to toss it in aquafaba first with like a taco spice mix, which is going to be a combination of chili powder, cumin, garlic powder, maybe a little bit of onion powder. I don't know. I'm going to make that up too. I'm making all this up because it's fun and I'm excited. We got some lettuce that we need to use up. It's already cut. I'm going to put on the bowls. And then we need a sauce. So for the sauce, we're going to use this leftover, what is this? This is a tahini sauce I made last week. What's it taste like? I was hoping I could just add some lime to that. It's more of a tahini. Just try it. It's not bad sauce, but I just don't know if it'll work with the other flavors we're doing.
I don't know. It's kind of mixed. Just make it more. Add some chili powder.
What if we put some nooch in this?
Nooch, maybe a
Make it
tiny
cheesy.
bit of salsa.
We'll make it like cheesy.
Okay, whatever. Just make it.
Okay. So the dressing I'm basing this off of is my tahini dressing, which is a third a cup of tahini, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, and a quarter cup of water. So it's got a little bit of sweetness in it, which isn't a bad thing for dressing, but I'm gonna try to give this a cheesy zip. A third of a cup of this to start, and like a third of a cup of nutritional yeast. I added some lime because it was really thick. Just the juice of 1 lime. And I'm also gonna add the juice of 1 lime to this quinoa when it's done. Let's try this dressing. That's fantastic. Oh, I don't even know what to call it. Like a queso-y tahini. Like, oh, it's got a little kick. I like it. You know my Mexican rice?
Mm-hmm.
It's that made with quinoa instead.
Oh, it smells good. Can I put some beans with it?
You're gonna have beans with that after, but just tell me what you just think of this. Because it's part of the bowl. Oh, should we go back for more? You like it?
Better with rice.
Can I get your opinion on the sauce? And the vegetables in there. The roasted vegetables. You like it or no?
It's okay. Actually, it's not that bad.
It's Annie approved so far. So far. I like it a lot. Even wants to put some of our leftover buffalo sauce on his, and I might add some of mine
It's so
too.
pretty, but now I'm mixing it up.
Yeah. This is an ask for me, and I know I made it up on the spot, and I'm being very proud of myself. So I'm being very biased. My kids will tell you their honest thoughts. Let's go to Annie.
An egg. But I like the flavors mixed together, like the olives. If you add olives, it makes it a bit sour, and then the sauce makes it a bit fatty. And whatever's put on the vegetables is really good.
Oh, it's just a little taco mix.
It's pretty good.
Yeah?
Where's the buffalo sauce? It's just ingredients mixed together.
That's every recipe ever. But what do you think of these ingredients mixed together?
Pretty good. I'll give it a B+. It kind of mellows out the buffalo sauce, so it's like a little spicy, but then not really.
This is good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think you should write a cookbook.
Okay. I like this a lot, actually. What would you rate it?
Hey,
Yeah.
Ooh, Dad, you should do one part of your cookbook without any instructions, just with the ingredients.
just for fun.
And I have to watch your videos to figure out how to make it.
No, I'm gonna put a section with your 5 ingredient lists and 5 recipe descriptions, and you have to figure out which ones go together. But maybe they all do. Ooh, that could. So I don't actually know how the recipe that we were going to make turned out, but all the same ingredients plus a couple other ones turned out real good. And now you have another new recipe. So for dessert tonight, I'm gonna make this rice pudding with whipped cashew cream. We're in the other room because the dishwasher is being aggressively loud. I don't know if this is meant to be for a breakfast or a dessert. We're gonna have it for dessert. It's not clear in this book. It says sweets. But why would you do it overnight for the next morning? It's so confusing, some things in this book. The amount of ingredients for this kind of blew my mind. Not necessarily the amount, is the quantity. And then I read at the end that it serves 10 bowls. So I don't need to serve 10 people. So I'm gonna cut this down into at least half. And I cut the sweet cashew whipped cream down to 1/3 because it calls for 3 cups of cashews. And I don't even think I have 3 cups of cashews right now because we're a little low. If I am, I'll just kind of like supplement them with another nut, and it'll have a slightly different nutty flavor to it. So there's that. I think I'll keep everything else the same, except I don't have brown rice syrup, so I'll probably use maple syrup. To make the rice pudding, you put the rice in with the water and the milk, and you bring that down to, you simmer that for 35 minutes. Wow. Until all the water has been absorbed, and then you add the rest of it. But I kind of feel like you could do this in the Instant Pot and then just cook it on saute mode at the end. I'm gonna make this for our dessert tonight. So for the cashew cream, you put everything into a blender and pulse until light, smooth, and fluffy. Place in a bowl and let refrigerate overnight to thicken a bit. So I'm making this in the morning for dessert tonight. So that's my equivalent of overnight. Try this cashew cream that I did actually have to put some peanuts into because I didn't have enough cashews for even 1/3 of the batter. So, oh, it's nice. I mean, the peanut takes over a little bit, but that's not a bad flavor. Might blitz it a little bit longer. If you're using a small hand blender like this, it just might need it a little bit longer to. It's a bit gritty and grainy right now, so I might add a little more liquid and keep blitzing it until it's nice and smooth. But I'll put it in the fridge and it'll thicken up nicely over the day.
It's cold.
It's supposed to be cold. You prefer rice pudding to be warm?
Oh no, I haven't had rice pudding in a while. I think this is more of an adult dessert.
That's a very nice way of saying.
Thanks.
I wasn't done. I wanted one more bite, please.
Are you 18 years old?
Yeah.
You're not an adult, so it's my dessert.
Now, what do you think? What would you give it, Annie?
An F.
An F?
Actually, well,
You wanted another bite.
technically a C, but like I just don't want to eat it.
So a C.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, I've never been a big rice pudding person, so I'm not really sure how it normally tastes. It's fine. I think I would use like I know it's healthier to use brown rice, but it tastes brown ricey. You know what I mean? That's probably what she doesn't like.
So if you're gonna do it, just do white
Like,
rice.
I think if you're having it as a dessert, make it a treat and use white rice. Although, if you're working on weight loss and you want a dessert like this, then the brown rice is probably better for you, right?
Yeah, true.
I'd be. Like, it's good. I don't think I would ask you to make it. I wouldn't beg you to make it, but it's in front of me and I'm eating it, so.
I like it. I think everything Emily said was probably very astute. I don't not like it though. It's like I like it, but I wouldn't make it again. So it's got to be a B, I think. I'm gonna finish it, and I'll finish the rest of this in the fridge. I like it enough for that, but I don't think I'd make it again. Ephraim, what's your review?
Oh, it tastes like
Why do you know what tastes like? So it's an F for you?
it's terrible. It's just so mushy and weird, and like rice pudding's supposed to be more like, you know, there's supposed to be more liquid into it.
The next morning.
So I have that
Bad
leftover.
rice pudding.
Ephraim's still giving his opinions on the rice pudding. Anyway, I didn't hate it, and I don't want to do it to waste, so I'm using it the way I would use oatmeal in the morning. And I just mixed it with a bunch of fruit. Put some hemp seeds on top. And it's really tasty, actually. This is probably a better breakfast than a dessert. And I just mixed the cashew cream into it, so it's all blended, as opposed to putting on top. So, I don't know. I like it, and it's fine. I think it's the best thing I've made in this book so far. For our dinner, I'm gonna take this Thai mango salad, and I'm gonna turn it into like a bit more of a meal. Really simple. It's just cutting up some vegetables, some ripe mangoes, and by ripe, we've got frozen that I'm thawing. And then it adds this almond butter dressing, which is not something I would ever put on a mango salad. But I like almond butter dressing. I'm just gonna air fry some tofu to add to it. And if we weren't having anything else, I would probably do some rice up to mix in as well to make it more like a salad bowl. But because we're gonna also, for dessert after this, make like her quinoa mixed berry pudding thing, I think that'll fill us up enough between the two things. How you doing over there?
That doesn't sound very good. Does she tell you how to cook it?
She does tell us how to cook the quinoa.
That's a good
On the stove with milk. Okay, we're gonna make this dressing, but Willie has some thoughts.
Okay, squeeze the limes.
Okay, not gonna do that. It's from a bottle, unfortunately, because we don't have any limes. I'm aware. What do you want me? I can't conjure them up.
I would pour the lime juice out of the bottle and then put the garlic in it to help mellow out the garlic. It's good.
This is simple. Place all the salad ingredients in a large bowl. In a small bowl, whisk together the almond butter dressing ingredients. Toss with the salad and sprinkle with almonds. And then also add in the tofu. I can't imagine this will be bad. I've been shocked before, though.
It's delicious.
This is your kind of dinner, Willie.
My kind of dinner. Let's eat.
Okay.
Yeah?
An A.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little sour.
From the lime, too much lime?
It would be an S, but it's too much lime or garlic or something. So it's an A.
Yeah, it's pretty sour, like Mom said.
And spicy.
Yeah.
But the flavors are good. I'll give it an A.
Nice. I mean, with the tofu, it's a meal, right? Mm-hmm. This is okay. I would work on the sauce a little bit, but I like the foundations of it. I think just the increments are off. Less lime.
Too much sauce.
Too much sauce on there too. I put too much on. I was worried there would be enough. Yeah, I'm gonna give it an A2. It's a solid A all around, I think, for all of us. The highest rated recipe in this book so far. For dessert, I'm gonna make this mixed berry quinoa pudding. You basically cook the milk in the quinoa together until it's absorbed. And then you add everything else. We don't have agave, so we'll use maple syrup. And I'm gonna double the cinnamon because it only calls for half a teaspoon. That doesn't seem like very much. And then we'll let people put on the chopped toasted pecans and maple syrup to their liking. The dishwasher sounds like it's gonna explode. Apologies if it's super loud. I'm gonna try this out before the rest of the family tries it. Ooh! Ooh, I thought it was gonna be really earthy because of the quinoa. That's so good. That'd be great for breakfast. If the kids don't like this, I'm having this for breakfast with some like bananas. I don't know, maybe I'd give it an S, knowing that it's like this is something I would make for breakfast.
This is the pudding.
And that's the loud dishwasher. She wants more.
No, yeah.
Really?
I mean, I'll have a little bit. It's not bad, but not good.
What about for like a breakfast, if that was like with more fruit?
Sure.
Not as like an alternative to oatmeal.
I guess, but oatmeal is better. I would give this a C. Like
That's
a
fair.
B minus or a C plus.
Okay. What's up? You don't like it? What's wrong? You don't like it?
That is not pudding.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd call that pudding.
That's not pudding.
Come back, please. Can you come back?
No.
Please?
6 hours later.
What would you think of it for like an alternative? Okay, but what if you thought of it like an alternative to oatmeal?
F.
An F?
I hate quinoa. Rice over quinoa. F. 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 F.
How do you feel about it, Eve?
I'll give it an S.
It's really good. I would eat it maybe for breakfast.
Yeah, I thought so too.
So I gotta go.
What do you rate it?
A. Hello?
She's a busy woman.
Bang on my end.
We're lucky to get her for this episode.
Beep, 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 like that. Yeah.
We're gonna make some lemon curd. I've never made lemon curd before. I guess that's not true. I've made like lemon tarts and stuff. And I essentially think that's what this is. Although we're gonna use this as just like, I don't know, something you can put on stuff. It's like a jam, but with lemon, I guess. I don't know. It's not a thing I've made just as something to make, to put on whatever. So, what am I gonna change in this recipe? Not much. I'm gonna reduce the sugar in half. It calls for a cup of just sugar. I'm gonna turn that into coconut sugar, which might color it a little bit. So basically you start off by cutting up a bunch of lemons, stealing their zest, and then putting the juice aside. It says about 6, so let's use 6. You mix together the sugar and the cornstarch, mix in the non-dairy milk, lemon juice, lemon zest, and turmeric. And then you mix it all in the pot. The only trick it says is that you might wanna keep tight to the pot while it's thickening, so that it's nice and smooth. That cornstarch doesn't go and clump up on you. I like the idea of mixing the sugar and the cornstarch before, so it already kind of breaks up a little bit. That's smart. I'm looking forward to this. I love lemon, and especially like a little sweetness to the lemon. We'll see. I'll taste it as we go, and if we need more lemon or sugar, then maybe I'll add it. But I find, generally speaking, in recipes, if I cut it in half, that's the right sweetness for me. So I tried it, and it's kind of the perfect sweetness for me. It's just it's still a little tart. I like the flavor a lot, actually. My question is if this is enough to thicken it. It said do it for 5 minutes. I did it for way longer and still it starts to thicken, but that it'll thicken up more in the mason jar when it's cooling. It's pretty liquidy right now. When it got to this thickness, I left another like 4 or 5 minutes and didn't seem to get any thicker. Is that because I put less sugar in? I don't know.
Oh, what's this?
Does it need more sugar?
I really like lemon, but I think it needs some more sugar.
I put in half the amount I called for.
Yeah, I think it'll help with the thickening problem you're having.
So I was wrong, but I think it's gonna be good. I'm hoping this is one of the recipes from this book that actually works out. It's not getting thicker, Willie.
No, it's not. It's a liquid.
Shocker! Something in this cookbook isn't working according to the directions.
Nice.
Want to try some lemon curd?
No, it looks like anal glands.
Yeah, I've been storing it up for weeks. You want some? It's because I used brown sugar.
Use white sugar so it looks like
I'll
yellow.
try.
It's on top.
It did not set. It should be way thicker.
It looks like jello.
Oh, it's thickening.
Hello, do you want to try my new lemon curd sauce? I made it this morning with real lemon flavoring.
I did make it with real lemons.
Actually, you can try first.
Okay. It's like ginger.
There's no ginger in there.
Taste ginger.
You taste ginger?
Can I just drink that lemon?
Do you like
Looks,
it though?
I'm gonna give it an F, and I'll give it a C. It tastes like ginger though, right?
No, you're crazy. But sour?
Well, it's supposed to be sour. It's lemony.
Do you want to try it? Not really, I guess.
I don't taste ginger.
It tastes more like molasses with the...
Yeah, I can see that. It's got like extra spicy things, so I can see why you think ginger, but I don't see the ginger. It's supposed to taste like a lemon meringue, I think.
Oh, it tastes like ginger.
It tastes like lemon glaze, like that you would
Yeah.
put on a loaf.
Maybe we'll make a lemon loaf this weekend.
It's pretty good. I really like sour lemon. So So I think I give it an A.
I'll give it like a B.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm also giving it a B because it's like it didn't thicken up. It's just not quite. I mean, here's the thing. I know what you're gonna say in the comments. I didn't use white sugar, and you're right. I didn't use white sugar, so I changed like something in it. But I don't know. I've made lemon meringue stuff without white sugar before, and it was not this thin. I mean, it is thick in there. So, what did we think of the Plantastic Cookbook? I mean, you watched the video, right? Here's the thing. I don't like to be negative here in the channel, but we struggled with this book quite a bit, as you could see. You know, as I mentioned in the intro, there's no pictures of the actual food. A lot of times it's just an illustration of one of the ingredients. And so because of that, there's also a lack of instructions in some areas. One or two of the recipes, I swear, was missing instructions, details. It just felt like they got to a certain point in the instructions and they quit and they stopped. It's almost like they only had a certain amount of page for each recipe, and so they just kind of, I don't know, they just kind of gave up. It's a strange cookbook from that point of view because every recipe is one page and it seems simple, but you know, there's no, the introduction and the ingredients, the introduction and like the directions just kind of blend together, and it's kind of missing in some instances. There are a lot of recipes that we made that we just kind of had to figure out on our own. And there's other ones that I wanted to try, but they just sort of confused me as I went along. Because of that, this is sadly our channel's first full-out bypass. I can't with any good conscience recommend someone buying this book just on face value. It's confusing, it's a bit fancy for people that are just starting out, and it's also very far from whole food plant-based. A lot of the recipes call for up to a cup of oil or more. So if you're not comfortable converting recipes, this book is going to be challenging for you in that regard as well. Really wish we could have loved this book more than we did because it's really cute and lovely. I feel bad. I genuinely want to love every single book that we get, especially one that's sent to us by somebody. So apologies to the publishing company that sent us this book. We didn't love it. If you enjoyed this video, but you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do so down below to get more videos like this. In fact, YouTube wants you to watch this video next. It might be another review video. I'm not sure what they're recommending to you. It's based on your own preferences. So, you know, give it a shot. Listen to YouTube. They know some stuff.